What's up, YouTube? Erod212 here, and today's video we're going to take a look and see if it's still worth investing in these modern keys. All right, so today's video I want to take a look at two books that are super hot right now, and both have been optioned for a series, and that would be Department of Truth and Something is Killing the Children. All right, so both books are semi-independent books, Boom Studio being more independent, Image being the big three kind of, but still considered an independent, not that have been optioned for series, and books have been super hot. So I want to see if it's still good to invest in these books or if they've reached their peak. The way I did it is I compared them to two other similar books that have had success. Those books were The Boys and Umbrella Academy. Both of those series did very well. Had two seasons, one on Amazon, The Boys on Amazon, and Umbrella Academy on Netflix. So let's look at those books first, see how they've done, where they've peaked and everything else, and see if there's room to grow on these other two books. All right, so as I was saying, the first book we're going to look at is The Boys #1. So as you can see, in March, it had the last sale was $495. It's had a 90-day average of $408 with 21 copies being sold. $349 average for 12 months. 2020 was $329. 2019 it was a $300 book. So it's been an expensive book for a while now. As you can see on it, though, this book has had its peaks and valleys. Right around here is 2016. It's probably when they start announcing that the series is going to be picked up and optioned. Everybody starts jumping on it. In 2019 is when the series kind of debuts. And right around there, I believe that the series debuts in July, if I'm correct. But the book starts to spike, and we're seeing prices of $389 on average. 15 copies being sold. In 2020, the book picks up again. And now the book is a $465 average price, with price range of $400 to $565. 14 copies being sold. So this book, even in its second series, season 2, picked up even more. It really grew, which is surprising, but it just shows, how well Garth Ennis wrote that story arc and how well they're doing it on TV. Even though they've taken liberties, the series is fantastic. It pushes the edge on everything. So we're talking a high of $500 in 2021 with a low of $346. So definitely a book that I would want to look at. If you can find that book in that $100 to $150 range, raw, because what I'm showing you is all graded 9.8, still a good investment in my opinion. So a book that I would still look at, even today. As a matter of fact, I picked up a copy, wound up being a 9.4, but for the price I got it, it was worth it. And now the next book we're going to look at is The Umbrella Academy. All right, here we have Umbrella Academy, the free comic book day edition. This is the book that everybody wanted. And as you can see, there's last sold was $220. 90 days, 191, 11 copies. 12-month average was 178 with 147 copies of this book selling still. 2020, 150 copies sold for 172. 2019, it was 147 copies, and we are at a high of $209 on that. Again, this series, another series that came out in 2019. As you can see, it had a peak right there. Copy sold up to average price was $424 with a high of $540 sold that month. 8 copies sold. Then as we go along, and the second series, you start getting more news. Second series is coming out, so speculation is there. And now the book has died down, but still up there. Price range between $158 to $373 with 50 copies selling for an average of about $197. So kind of in that range where our 90-day average is now about $190 with the last sale of $220. So again, another book that did very well, especially being that it was a free comic book. So to find those books in better grades sometimes it's tough, because if little kids take those books and roll them up or whatever, a lot of people go there, grab them, give them to their children because they're free comics. It's something nice to read for the kids. I think that's a great thing that's always done. But if you can find that book for relatively cheap there in that $50, $60 range, still might be a good investment, especially when season 3 is coming closer. The book might spike up to another $250 plateau. So now we have a base. We've seen what the boys look like, and we've seen what the Umbrella Academy looks like. So now let's take a look at the 2 books that I've selected, and that's Department of Truth and Something is Killing Children #1. Let's start off with Department of Truth #1. So here's Department of Truth #1. As you can see, the thing with these books that is a little different from everything else is that these books have had a lot of variance as compared to the boys and Umbrella Academy, which were just straight one issue books. I'm just going down it so you could see. Department of Truth had a massive amount of variance done. Big amount of variance done. So we'll look at the initial issue, which is the first issue, which is last sold was $168. The 90-day average on this is $144. 12 months, $130. In 2020, this was a $72 book. So that's when it first comes out. But if you're seeing there's a spike in sales, in 90 days alone, we sold 107 copies. That's kind of when the news is starting to filter out already. That's going to be optioned. Everybody was kind of anticipating it because it's so well written. You add in, like I said, Lee Harvey Oswald and everything, all the conspiracy theories, makes for a great TV series. So if we went back here in December of 2020, 22 copies selling for an average of $100. Now we're spiking in January. It's at $133 average. And in February, we're looking at $174 average sales, about $131. So the book really starts to pick up there. But remember, this is a raw book that you can still get for about $45 raw. So I think it's still a decent investment, even at $45. As you can see, in March, the book has spiked drastically. A lot of copies selling in that $200 range, $150 to $200 range. So still a nice book to get. And I just want to get down to the next series there. I'll show you that. If we go with the variant cover B, which is a Jenny Frison cover, that's more affordable. And you can get that raw for about $15 to $20 now. But March, it sold for a high of $112. 42 copies are sold with an average of $91. In 2020, it was an $85 average. So, 12 months was an $85, and in 2020, when it first came out, you're at a $59 average for a 9.8 on this book. So I think that book has a good entry price point to get in. Actually, both of them, I think, will. Even if that book kind of does what the Umbrella Academy does and becomes a $200 book, you can get into it at $15 to $40. You're doing pretty well with that book. And now let's take a look at the numbers for Something is Killing the Children. So Something is Killing the Children. Wow, this book really has blown up. Last sale was $666 with a 90-day average of $535. 12-month average of $353 with 300 copies being sold. There is so much hype behind this book with, good reason, just well-written book that has a lot of possibilities. Now, the book that I'm looking at, there are 2 of them that I'm looking at, and that's the variant cover, which is the Jay Lee cover, which is fantastic cover. And right now you're seeing that book right here. Last sold for $275 with a 90-day average of $233 and the 12-month average of $154. So the book is definitely picking up a lot. You can see the upward swing on this book recently. Just a nice book to pick up. I think that this book still has room to grow. It's nowhere near that. I think that first issue is out of reach. There are also quite a few variants to this. Some really big boy books here. The New York Comic Con edition is $1,250. The Black Capes edition, which was limited, also $1,200. So those books are kind of out of the everyday reach. The other one, though, is that Unlocked Retailer Edition, which is the Jenny Frison cover. And as you can see, that book right there last sold for 148, 90 days 135, with 12 month being 37. Book has room to grow. You can buy that book relatively cheap right now. The Jenny Frison one, it's not that expensive, but still moving up. They're all moving up, so I think now is the time to jump in on those two books, and see what you want to do with them. See if you want to invest in them. I think that those two books, For Something Is Killing Children, still have the ability to be purchased, and you can make a profit on it if that's what you're looking to do. And with the Department of Truth, the cover A and the cover B both still are affordable, and you can make a move on those. So, that's my video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what your comments are on this. Let me know what your thoughts are on this. And appreciate you guys watching the channel. Thank you for subscribing. Hit 2,200 subs. So got something planned. I'm just trying to put stuff in the works. I don't want to make a promise because I said I was going to do a 1,500 sub giveaway, and it just grew so much and things got so busy that I'm probably going to do 2,500 sub giveaway and just make it that much more extra special. But until my next video, peace.